songwriting is incredible. Talk to me about like the way that you write and how did you learn to write that way?
Yeah. Honestly, it's always about like a personal experience. So like something happens, I cry about it, and then it's always like concept driven. So I'll write the entire concept down. Like if it's fingers crossed, I'll write down fingers crossed, and I'll write down like who it's about, what it's about, like all the specific details of the story of like what exactly happened. And then when I go in, I usually have a reference of like this needs to be piano or this needs to be guitar, upbeat, and we all just kind of go from there and like go ham on it. I learned how to songwrite from one of my best friends that I met on American Idol. She was like, "What do you mean you've never songwritten?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm from a small town."
Wow.
And she's from here, and she just like let me live with her for 4 months for free, and like took me to every session, like brought me in every single day, and like she's written like half my album with me, and like I owe my entire songwriting career to her.
That's incredible, and that's so crazy because, like I said, like I am so shocked at like the way that you write, your lyric play, your word play. That's what like drew my attention immediately. So moving forward, like now that you're working on a debut album or a debut body of work, like how has your wordplay kind of evolved just within these two singles?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's crazy. We're like at the point where we're kind of finished. We're like wrapping up production and everything on the albums. We've written most of the album. But I would say like I wrote with a lot of different people. There was like a random point in the middle of making my album that I was like, I need to write with every single different person and learn absolutely everything I can about songwriting. And I started to like follow more artists like JP Sachs and people that like really got into the detail of lyrics. And I just like studied it and like studied the way people would come up with things. I'm like, how'd you come up with that? Like, what do you mean? They're like, well, it's really important to put dates and times and days in. I'm into like dates, times, Wednesday 302, like always incorporating things. I just like really paid attention to how other people wrote, and then in future songs like incorporated that.
Maybe I'll try that, and maybe I'll learn to write music as well, right?
I definitely think you can learn how to songwrite. I think it's a learned process for sure.
That's really cool. So the fact that you kind of did your research with these kind of artists, especially JP, like he's incredible. That's I can't think of anybody else like to kind of learn from. So because you kind of incorporated what you learned from them, like coming into this record, do you feel like it was a lot easier for you to write, or do you feel like you're still kind of struggling to write certain topics or trying to be vulnerable or like opening up the way that you do?
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm an oversharer, and I just have like trauma for days. So I'm like, I walk in a session, I tell like 15 different stories, and they're like, so we only needed one. We didn't need everything that has happened in the last month to you like dropping a cookie on the floor. So I would honestly say it's probably pretty easy just for us to write because I'm pretty open with my feelings and like things that are going on and things that have happened. So it kind of just comes out naturally because we just talk about the truth. Yeah.
That's amazing. So I'm super excited to hear more music from you, and you have a couple shows happening right now in LA. You're going to be at the Troubadour, I believe, which is incredible. Like this is your first show tonight. Like that's insane.
Stupid. I'm just like everything's a blur. Life is insane.
That's insane. Well, I look forward to catching up with you again, and I do want to dive into more details with this upcoming record. So whenever we can, let's make it happen.
Yeah. Thank you so much.